Today I'm looking at this lovely new machine that we've just got in, which is the brother Innovis F420. It's a fully computerised machine, and although it's a standard size, it actually is bigger here. So it's not like their medium width one that has got extra space. This one really is, it's an extra inch compared to any other standard machine. So it's really nice and wide there. And it's a really nice meaty machine, basically, very pretty. So just thought I'd talk about what we've got here. The actual machine comes with 140 stitches, and they're all nicely tucked away in this top panel as well, which is really nice. Easy winding bobbin, threading, a wonderful needle threader, which I'll show you in a moment. All of these stitches are accessed by the screen here, and I tend to think of these 4 buttons here as your filing cabinet, and you've got 4 drawers in the filing cabinet, and each of these symbols relate to each of the symbols up here. So although it may seem quite daunting if you're not used to a computerized machine, if you just split it down, it makes life a lot easier. So we're going to forget about all those stitches because most people just want to do a straight stitch anyway. And the lovely thing is it will default to straight stitch as soon as you switch it on. So here we are, we've got number 1, and it's a straight stitch with our needle over to the left position. Brother always tend to do that because if you line your fabric up with the edge of this lovely big J foot, it's a centimetre seam. So that's how always with their start off stitches, their number 1 is always on a left position. The other lovely thing about this machine, because most of the time we're using straight stitch or zigzags or our go-to buttons, it will start off on this top drawer of our filing cabinet. You see where our light is, and those little symbols resemble this set of patterns. So we've got 10 go-to buttons. So we're on that, it naturally defaults to that one. But if I want a zigzag, I've just got to push the button and it's all sorted for us. Or if I want a triple zigzag, sew on elastic, it's there. A blind hem stitch, straight there. If I want our needle in the middle position, it will be number 3. And then all of a sudden, our needle is now in the middle position. So it's a really nice feature. I'll talk a bit more about the rest of the filing cabinet after we've threaded the needle. But let's just talk about the rest of this casing and what we've got. So really nice features. Speed control, which is really useful, especially if you're doing some fine work or some applique work, or you're just new to it and you don't want to go too fast. So that's a really nice thing. The wonderful scissors, so the thread cutter, and I'll demonstrate that in a moment. Needle down. Don't actually need, well, it's needle down, needle up, but actually the machine always stops with needle down. We don't even have to tell it to, which is lovely. And a stay stitch button, which I'll show you when we do a decorative stitch how useful that can be. Reverse stitch, and our start stop button. So if we take our foot pedal out, for instance, we could then use our start stop, but I'm going to use it with my foot pedal in to start off with. So first things first, we're going to get on and sew. I've already put in the bobbin, which is all very easy as well. And I've threaded the machine, and it really lovely diagrams that show you how to do that. So we then follow the number still. We've gone down number 5. We're now into number 6, which just hooks to keep the thread straight on the needle. Excuse me, my fingers are probably in the way. And now we're going to go into this little hook here, there, into number 7, around to the thread cutter, and then I'm going to put the presser foot down. It's a lovely big lever at the back here, and then I've got a little slider at the side, so you may want to go back to that bit, and I'm just going to push it down, and that's it, needle threaded. Okay, so before we sew something, it's all terribly exciting, I want to show you where we also have got other things that are included in this machine, and they're all nicely stored away in here. So we've got our different feet that come with the machine. So there'll be a zipper foot, a buttonhole foot, an over edge foot, blind hem foot, and buttonhole foot. This machine has got 10 different styles of buttonholes, and I'm going to show you one of these in this video. So we'll just pop them out the way for a moment. Oh, and that's the obviously unpicker, which is crucial. It also comes with a knee lift. Now this is really nice, just fits in there like that. And basically what happens with a knee lift, it's a little bit like, you know, rubbing your tummy and patting your head, because what you'll do is you'll use this, if you were quilting for instance, you'd have your hands here. To actually move, you need to raise the presser foot. You might not want to remove your hands from what you're working on. You can use your knee lift to raise the presser foot. So that's quite useful. It can take a little bit of work, but it's a really good, and that just literally comes with this machine. So there we are, just slides in there like that. So that's the knee lift. Okay, let's just do a little bit of fun stuff. So let's just do a little straight stitch. I'm going to use my foot pedal, and obviously I've got my foot flat on the floor, but my speed control is really, really slow. So I can use that to determine how fast I want to go. Get to the end, cut with the scissors. There we are. First row of stitching, just to check it out. Nice and neat. So what we're going to do now is I'm just going to show you how we access these other stitches. Actually, first of all, I'll just show you with a zigzag. So if I just go to that zigzag there, it's set as a default, a 3.5 width and a 1.4 length. So if I just do a few stitches, and then we'll take a look. As you see, it stops in needle down, so I can pivot that round. So that's the default size of the zigzag. Now I might think I actually want it wider and longer than that. So what I can do is on here, if we see our width and our length, I can take that right up. Let's take it up to the maximum. It's 7. If I press it again, it will make a noise. So it won't go any higher than that because the actual width of the foot is 7 mil. And then I'll take the length up to say 2. So that's the same stitch, same zigzag, but we've just manipulated the default, and then all of a sudden we've got a wider, longer zigzag. So if I pop the presser foot down now, press scissors, there we are, that's it, finito. So let's have a look at a fancy stitch. It also has alphabet. Forgot to mention that, but you can see that by the A here. So this is our filing cabinet. If I want to go to choose one of these fancy stitches, if you see this is this symbol here, but we've got it 1, 2, 3. So if I find that symbol down here in my filing cabinet, if I push it once, it's always going to ask me if it's okay to cancel. Yes, it is. It's going to come up with number 1 first. If I push it again, it will be number 2. Push it again, number 3. Push it again, back to number 1. So if I have a look here, for instance, I really love, there's some lovely little bees, which I think are adorable, number 29. So I'm in pattern selector number 1. If I now put in number 29, that's going to give me a row of bees. So I'm just going to stitch those out. It actually tells me to use the applique foot as well, so it's clever, but the J foot will do for now. So this is now going to stitch out a row of bees. They're actually showing there, which is why it's lovely, fully computerised. Now when we're sewing things like these, for instance, what we may not want to do when we get to the end is to finish off with half a bee, which would be quite sad. So I'm going to turn the speed down so as it's not so noisy. So I want to make sure I finish off with a full bee. So if I push this stay stitch button here, it lights up and it is going to finish a whole bee for me. It could be a whole heart, or it could be a whole scallop, or whatever the picture, the design is, it will finish a whole one. I'm not doing anything, it stopped. Scissors. So that's a really nice feature. As you see, we got 3 little bees. So that's a fantastic thing. So what I'm going to do now is show you how we write something with an alphabet. So again, down, we'll now go into our alphabet here, A. We've got 3 different fonts which are showing here. So we do it the same way. We've either got blocks, we've got italics, and we've got some bubble writing, which I particularly like. It's only capitals on this one, so there's all higher case, there's no lower case. So if I go into A, I'm actually going to cancel my B's. So I've gone into A, that's now the italics, that's the bubble. So if I just write, say, hello here, which is 08 for the H, and 05, and then 12, so it's showing me here what numbers to go to, 12 again, and then a 0, 15, oh no, it's 15, 5, and then I could add, if I wanted to, a little b at the end. So I could go back to number 1 and then add a 29, because I do like those B's. So there we are, I've got hello B. And, well, good opportunity here. I'm going to take my foot pedal out, give myself a little rest, press start stop, and it's going to stitch out, and it's going to show us which letter it's doing each time. I mean, obviously, if it was absolutely crucial that this was straight, I would have my hands here, but I'm just showing you how the feeding is working so well. So we're on the O. We'll do our little B. Does a nice stay stitch at the end, make sure that it's not going to unravel. Press my scissors. There we are. Cute, hey? So the next thing I'm going to show you is a buttonhole. So I'm just going to, easiest thing, come out of that. I'm just going to switch the machine off for a moment. Okay, so now we're going to do a buttonhole. I'll switch the machine back on again. So we need to change the foot and we need to select our buttonhole. So if we go into here, now I need this drawer of my filing cabinet, which is this one. And as you see, all the buttonholes are all down here. So let's just do a bog standard one here, number 60. So if I go 60, that's now my buttonhole. It's telling me to use foot A, and this, they all have letters on them, the feet. I don't know if you can see that, but that says A on there. This is the buttonhole foot, fully automatic, and it's got a little slider. So I'm going to, this is the size button I'm going to be using. Perhaps should have used a coloured one, but I'm going to put it in there and slide the button so as it's secure, and that's giving me a buttonhole size there. So to take the foot off, there's a little knob at the back here. If I just push it, the foot drops off, and then I just want to line up this little bar and then just use the presser foot to clip it in. So that's that. The next thing I need to do is to bring the doobry down. I call it a doobry. It is my term. I don't know what else it's called. It's probably called something else more technical, but it's round this side and it's located behind the needle bar. And there's a little grey thing that comes down. It's called the A2 actually, I've just noticed that, but I prefer the doobry. Comes down and it's just going to sit there, and that is what is going to tell the machine how big that buttonhole should be. So we're all set, we're all ready to go. First thing I need to do, or the next thing I need to do, is pop my fabric in. Now, the buttonhole works backwards, so we want to make sure we don't do it too close to the edge, so we'll always do a test sew on a buttonhole, because we may want to change some of the settings as well. But again, another ideal opportunity to not have the foot pedal. We're all set up, good to go. That's it, dead easy, huh? So if I now press the scissors, remove my doobry, just push it back up into the slot. Perfect buttonhole. So obviously it's not good enough at the moment because it's not open. So if I take this buttonhole foot off, and I'm going to remove my button, that's there. I'm then going to use the unpicker just to create the hole. So the unpicker has got a little blade here, and that's what we use to open up the buttonhole. So I poke it in, and I'm only going to go halfway and then go in the other side. Otherwise you have a tendency to snip through the whole buttonhole, which is not brilliant after you've taken all that time. There we are. So that's the buttonhole. Check it fits for size. There we are. Perfect. So as I say, it even comes with a button sewing foot. I'm not going to do that now, but basically we drop the feed dogs, put the button on the fabric, select the right zigzag stitch, and it would sew the button on as well. So it does loads and loads of wonderful stuff. So if you'd like to come in for a play anytime, this is our demo model. I've only had it for 2 days, absolutely love it. And it retails currently for £599. So please do feel free, come in and have a play, and we look forward to seeing you soon. Bye bye.